Okay, here's the last of the series of videos on drop twos for now, and we're going to take the chords that we've used already, and hopefully over time you've got to know these, or perhaps you know them already and are looking for how to move that up to another level to get more use out of the same information. So previously when we've looked at C major 7, boom, 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 we've looked at it in that context of being a C major 7th. But if what we're going to do now is look at these as rootless voicings. So the C in this context is no longer going to be the root, it's going to be the third of A minor 7. A. So any of those voicings that we've learnt for C major 7th, if I put an A below that, and conveniently it's an open string, so you can hear that in context. So one thing that you've already learnt and consolidated, being able to have the flexibility to think of that in another context, then opens up a whole new world of rootless ninth chords. So a minor 7th chord, if you want to get a minor 9th chord, build a major 7th chord on the 3rd. A major 7th chord, if you want a major 9th chord, build a minor 7th chord on the 3rd. A dominant 7th chord extend to a 9th chord if you build a minor 7 flat 5 on the 3rd, gives you a dominant 9th sound. So if that's a struggle theoretically, just take a little time to look at that. I'm sure there's lots of resources that could help you with that. The Mark Levine Jazz Theory book, I think, is a particularly good one, although quite a hefty tome. But this information is pretty readily available if you go to credible web sources. Probably Rick Beato or something like that has done something on this. But it's just being able to think of the continuum in the thirds through the mode into the upper extensions. So boom, 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 all the way up to the 13th, but all those intervals are third. Root 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, sharp 11, 13. So they're all thirds, and each one of those 4-note groups, as you go through the chord, makes another 7th chord. Then it goes major 7th, minor 7th, major 7th, minor 7th, up to the 13th. Have a think about that, and if your theory needs a bit of brushing up or expanding, take a look at that as a concept. So in applying these chords to, say, giant steps like we're looking at in the last video, we simply build the appropriate chord on the thirds of the original chord sequence. So we've got B major 7th, we want to make that B major 9th, and rootless, so we build a minor 7th chord. So here's the B, and then if I go to D, build an F sharp, minor 7 flat 5, and then G, B minor 7th, B flat, build a D minor 7, B flat, D minor 7 flat 5, and then a G minor 7 for E flat, and then the next chord that comes along is an A minor 7th, which is a 2-5, C major 7th on top, and then back to F sharp minor 7 flat 5, G major 7th. So we can have a look through that chord sequence. I can play through it once using these chords So we'd have B major ninth, D ninth, G major ninth, B flat ninth, E flat major ninth, A minor ninth, D ninth, G major ninth, B flat ninth, E flat major ninth, F sharp ninth, and B major ninth. I find it easier to play than to actually say these things out loud, and so on. And then 251, 251 in G, 251, and then you would be looking for, and then we'd be back at the beginning. Okay, so quite a lot to think about there, but essentially write out a C major 13 sharp 11 chord in thirds, and look at how each 4 notes makes another 7th chord. And if your theory is not quite up to dealing with all that, then maybe this isn't quite the time, but work towards it, and you'll get there in the end.